Spain nil, Cabo Verde nil. The night the Blue Sharks humbled Europe's champions. Take some time to think about what I've just said. And while you're doing that, hi everyone, my name is Joseph. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Joji's 5 Cents. If you haven't done it already, please do show some love. Like, subscribe, share the video, and leave your comments. Leave your 5 cents, and I'll try getting back to them as soon as possible. Thanks once again. So, ladies and gentlemen, what I've been trying to say Spain nil, Cabo Verde nil. Now, if you've looked at the team sheets before this kickoff, this was supposed to be a mismatch. Spain, European champions, one of the favorites for the World Cup against Cabo Verde, a nation making its very first appearance on football's biggest stage. On paper, it was easy. It was supposed to be easy, but in reality, fuck, not even close because football has a funny habit of embarrassing people the moment they start believing their own hype. And on this night in Atlanta, Spain got a reality check, a big reality check. Watching the Spanish players before the match, there was a feeling that this was simply the first step through a long World Cup journey. Nothing wrong with having confidence, nothing wrong with enjoying yourself as well. But there's a fine fucking line between confidence and assuming that something like a result will take care of itself. And Spain did just that. Spain left several major attacking options sitting on the bench, scratching their heads, wondering what in God's name is going on. Lamine Yamal, Nico Williams, Mikel Merino. I really don't think or wonder what Luis de la Fuente was thinking while doing this. Was he clearly managing fitness or injuries? It definitely sent a message, whether it was intentional or not. And the message looked like, sit down, boys, we've got this. Cabo Verde heard it and answered in a big way. Imagine being told your entire life that you don't belong. You're a small nation making your World Cup debut, you know, playing one of football's biggest countries on earth. La Liga is Spain. Spain is La Liga. Most people expected Cabo Verde simply just show up, play some football and see what happens. But instead, they showed discipline, they showed resistance, they showed belief, and most importantly, no fear whatsoever for this Spanish team. The Blue Sharks defended like every tackle mattered, every block mattered, every clearance mattered, every second mattered. Because to them, this wasn't just another group stage match like Spain thought it was. This was history. And this is that Spanish problem that I'm talking about. Spain had the ball, lots of it. They could have probably taken it home also and gone as well. Around 75% possession, 27 shots. But here's the bloody problem: possessing the ball or having so much possession is not equivalent to a trophy. Possession doesn't win matches, goals do. Spain spent large periods looking like a team that's trying to solve a flicking Rubik's Cube with boxing gloves on. Plenty of movement, plenty of passing, but very little damage. The deeper this game went, I felt sorry for the players who actually showed up, or very few of them, not going to name them. The more this went on, they became frustrated as fuck. And suddenly, the ghosts started appearing. You know what happened with Morocco in 2022. Endless bloody passing. One wall looking an equivalent of the Great Wall of China. No breakthrough, though. No breakthrough at all. The comparisons started writing themselves from beginning to end. Now, fuck all that. Wozinha, a master class by this boy. He was the real star. 40 years old, man. His joints must have been creaking, and his World Cup debut, facing one of the strongest attacks in the tournament and producing a performance of his life. Like I said, he got up that day and decided he was going to be a prime Gianluigi Buffon. Every save he made felt bigger than the last. Every stop increased the belief in every one of those Cabo Verde players. He was their superhero, their player of the match, and I'm sure their national icon. One of the YouTubers brought it up. His followers were around 100,000 or something on Instagram, and by that end of the match, it was 3.9 million followers. So there you go, one of the early stories of this tournament. Seriously, Balzinia, you have to remember that name. And okay, let's not pile it up on Spain, but to be fair, not everyone was poor. I hate bringing up this name, but Marc Cucurella actually lived up to that 50 million odd euro price tag that he was bought for Real Madrid. A few players looked consistently dangerous. He was one of them. He drove forward, he created opportunities, kept asking questions, while many around him they struggled to find any sort of solution. At least this bugger looked like he was willing to force the issue through. But having one player isn't enough, not when you're expected to challenge for a World Cup. Look at France. They haven't kicked a ball as yet, but that team looks scary as shit. Now, if you have to compare the old Spain versus the new, I know it's unfair to do so because everyone's different, but the nostalgia in me is talking. But when people talk of a great Spanish team or the Spanish teams of old, the only ones that I can think of are the ones that I experienced, the likes of Carlos Puyol, Iker Casillas, Xavi, Iniesta, teams, these buggers walked onto the pitch and immediately imposed themselves. Teams shivered looking at these boys, not because they smiled less, not because they celebrated less, but they had this ruthless edge to them. I hated the buggers because I never supported them. I supported a different team altogether. But when they sensed weakness, they punished it. This Spain side that I'm talking about has incredible talent, no doubt about it. But against Cabo Verde, they look more comfortable controlling than actually winning the bloody match. And that's becoming a dangerous habit at this World Cup. But the big story here is that Spain didn't drop points. The biggest story here is that Cabo Verde earned those points. Even though it was one, they earned them. It wasn't luck. It wasn't a fluke. This was organization, commitment, courage. A debut nation refusing to play the role that every other bugger on planet Earth assigned to them. That says you turn up and get trodden on. But for 90 minutes, they made it look like one of football's giants, looked like an ordinary fool who turned up to this tournament. But there's no need to panic for Spain, not as yet at least, but they should definitely be concerned because Saudi Arabia and Uruguay will have watched them and been like, all right, they would have definitely seen something, a weakness in Spain, a weakness in this team. It might not be really vulnerable, but a weakness for sure. And as for Cabo Verde, no one's calling these boys underdogs anymore. Come on. These blue sharks have arrived, and after this performance, nobody in Group H will be taking them lightly. So, Spain left Atlanta with 1 point. Cabo Verde left Atlanta with something bigger, respect. Respect, and they have mine. And in many ways, that was one of the most valuable results of all and a lesson in humility. Thank you, Cabo Verde. Thank you so much.